The Book of Enoch, Part 2. What the Fallen Angels Taught Humanity. We all celebrate human innovation. That sudden, almost unbelievable leap in knowledge that kicked off ancient civilizations has always been a mystery. How did we so quickly master warfare, astronomy, and even the arts of makeup and jewelry? Our official histories have a lot of gaps, and the scriptures we know today are pretty quiet on the details. But what if the answer was written down in a book that was considered too dangerous, too controversial to be included in the Bible? The Forbidden Book of Enoch has a shocking answer. It claims our surge in knowledge wasn't an invention at all, but a deliberate leak of cosmic secrets from a rogue group of angels called the Watchers. In this video, we're breaking down the exact curriculum these fallen angels used to corrupt humanity. And make no mistake, these weren't gifts. They were calculated lessons designed to throw the world into chaos and force God's hand. Section 1. The Backstory. A Pact of Rebellion. So, before we get to what they taught, we need to know who these teachers were. The Book of Enoch introduces us to a high-ranking class of angels known as the Watchers. Their divine purpose was just that, to watch over the fledgling human race. But as they looked down from heaven, they began to lust after human women. Led by their chief Samyaza, 200 of these angels made a pact. They abandoned their post, descended to Mount Hermon, and bound themselves by an oath to defy God and take human wives. This lust was their first great sin, but what they did next would seal humanity's fate. To justify their place in the mortal world, they started trading their most valuable commodity, heavenly knowledge. They were about to teach humanity things it was never, ever supposed to know. Section 2. The Forbidden Curriculum. The Arts of War. The first and most devastating lesson came from a watcher named Azazel. Chapter 8 of the Book of Enoch details his teachings with chilling clarity. Azazel taught men how to forge swords, daggers, shields, and breastplates. He revealed the secrets of metallurgy, how to rip metals from the earth and shape them not into tools, but into weapons. Think about a world that only knew basic, primitive conflict. Suddenly, humanity is armed to the teeth. The knowledge of organized warfare, of efficient killing, spread like a plague. The text is very clear that this was a direct cause of the violence that began to flood the earth. This wasn't the dawn of civilization, it was the dawn of sophisticated slaughter. A gift from an angel that led directly to a world filled with bloodshed. The book says to him, "You can ascribe all sin." Section 3. The Forbidden Curriculum. The Arts of Deception. But the Watchers' plan was more cunning than just starting fights. They also wanted to corrupt the human spirit, and Azazel wasn't done teaching. He taught humanity the art of personal decoration. This might sound harmless, but the book frames it as a tool for spiritual rot. He showed people how to make bracelets and ornaments from precious metals. He taught them about expensive stones and colored dyes. Most specifically, he instructed women on how to use antimony, a black powder, for the beautifying of the eyelids. In other words, cosmetics. So why was this considered so dangerous? Because it wasn't about beauty. It was about vanity, seduction, and jealousy. This knowledge encouraged people to focus on their outward appearance instead of their inner character, fueling the lust and godlessness that was already running wild. It was the corruption of the soul, disguised as the beautification of the body. Section 4. The Forbidden Curriculum. The Arts of Sorcery. While Azazel armed humanity for physical and moral corruption, the ringleader, Samyaza, focused on the spiritual. His specialty was the occult. He taught humanity about enchantments and spells. He revealed the secrets of root cutting, using the magical properties of plants, not for healing, but for casting spells and brewing potions. And he wasn't alone. Other angels taught how to break enchantments. Barakijal taught astrology, and Kokabiel taught the constellations. This was a direct attack on faith. Instead of looking to God for answers, humanity was taught to look to the stars and to magical rituals for power. It pulled people away from the divine and into a world of forbidden spiritual manipulation, giving them the illusion that they, not God, were in control of their own fate. Section 5. The consequences. A world drowned in sin. The impact of this forbidden knowledge was immediate and catastrophic. First, there was a biological consequence. The children born from the unions of Watchers and human women were a terrifying new race, the Nephilim. These were giants of incredible size and strength, and their appetites were bottomless. They devoured all of humanity's food, and when that wasn't enough, they started eating humans themselves. The second consequence was societal. The teachings of the Watchers had worked perfectly. Humanity became completely corrupt. Violence was everywhere, thanks to the new weapons. Lust and vanity were the new norms. Sorcery and idolatry had replaced faith. The world, as Enoch describes it, was defiled. The corruption was so complete that a cry of despair rose up from the earth itself. The souls of the dead cried out to heaven, begging for someone to do something. The archangels, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, looked down and saw the planet drowning in blood and lawlessness. They carried that cry to the throne of God, reporting exactly what Azazel and Samyaza had done, how they had revealed eternal secrets that mortals were never meant to possess. Section 6. The Divine Judgment. God's response was final and absolute. The knowledge from the Watchers was a poison that had sent humanity down a path of total self-destruction. And so, judgment was passed on everyone involved. First, the Watchers. They were bound hand and foot and thrown into total darkness in the desert, where they would await the final day of judgment. They were forced to watch their own giant children kill each other with no hope of peace or forgiveness. Second, the Nephilim. The giants were pitted against each other in a war that wiped them all out. But because their spirits were partly divine, they couldn't be completely destroyed. The Book of Enoch says their spirits were doomed to remain on earth as evil forces, plaguing mankind until the end of time. And finally, humanity and the corrupted earth. To cleanse the world of all the sin and forbidden knowledge, God declared a cataclysm, a great flood that would wipe the slate clean, destroying every corrupt living thing and allowing a new beginning with the righteous Noah and his family. The leak of forbidden knowledge had led directly to the Great Flood. The story of the Watchers in the Book of Enoch is a dark and powerful warning. It reframes things we take for granted, metalworking, astronomy, even makeup, as acts of cosmic rebellion. It suggests that knowledge without wisdom isn't a gift, but a curse. The teachings of the fallen angels weren't meant to lift humanity up, but to trap it, proving that the blind pursuit of secrets and power can lead to total ruin. It really makes you wonder, is this ancient story just a myth? Or is it an allegory, a timeless warning about our own relentless chase for new technology and power today? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoy digging into these forbidden histories, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories we weren't supposed to know.